Like,
So,
Farah is basically a combination of Ari from Kingkiller and River Tam from Firefly.
yeah,
That's kind of
I could see the River Tam in your eyes when you thought that one. Okay, so I
yeah.
deleted the old recording. So we're playing Apocalypse World. This is our first session. Adam's going to be our battle babe. Rose,
Hello again.
Meat is our faceless, crazy person with an axe. Fiera is our child thing. Constantine will be our chopper. And Scalpel, just got a name,
Yeah.
is our angel. Perfect timing.
I like it.
I liked
We
it a
did do a
lot.
little bit of stuff there, but then I found I didn't have enough disk space to record everything. So I've deleted half my Steam's library, and I do have about 200 games currently installed. So it was time for a clear out. Uh,
Sounds like it.
yeah,
Steam sales, man. Steam
I
sales.
know those bastards.
You can re-download them, you know. It's
know,
not like
Yeah.
I
download
know,
it.
but
That's it.
I've never had trouble with space before, so it didn't even occur to me. So yeah, we've already done Rose, and Rose discovered that they couldn't trust Meat, but everybody else they found quite trustworthy.
No, I couldn't. No, it was. I couldn't trust anyone. Oh no, I could trust Angel and Child Thing. I couldn't trust Chopper or me.
That's true. Yes,
No.
Chopper as well. So you couldn't trust Meat, which I think in general is a good rule, and you couldn't
Don't trust Meat.
Chopper because he
Yeah,
is, probably a bit self-interest being a gang leader. We got to Meat, and Meat decided that him and Constantine have done something terrible together, and that he was helped once and was by someone who was not afraid of him, and that was Scalpel the Angel. And he finds Rose and Fiera pretty.
Mhm.
So, those are hopefully that's enough reason for him not to just randomly murder all these characters.
Hopefully.
So, hopefully. And then we got to Fiera the child thing when I had my technical issues.
Yeah.
And Fiera decided that Rose is not sure if she's a wolf of the Maelstrom. Meat definitely is a wolf of the Maelstrom. Constantine is...
Wasn't sure either.
You're unsure?
Yeah.
And
And
Scalpel,
Scalpel
is not
is
a wolf.
definitely
Isn't.
not.
I'm not.
Which is a very fishy answer as well.
Yes. Yes, it all works, and I have some... I like the Wolf of the Maelstrom stuff. It's so delightfully weird.
It's great.
And then we're on to Constantine. So,
Yeah, I have like 3 questions. So, which one of you used to ride with my gang? Oh, sorry, that's not the first one. Sorry. No, it's the first one. Which one of you used to ride around in my gang?
which one used
If
to ride
Meat
in-
put his hand up.
Yeah, I think if we had said situation where you pointed me, maybe I was. So you know how like some choppers like to have like a pit bull on a chain. Maybe you have
Yeah.
like meat on a metaphorical chain. It was like, hey, don't fuck with the boss because he's got that psycho guy around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I'm also thinking perhaps that makes a bit of a problem because you have a new big guy, don't you, Chopper? You've got Marrow.
Yeah.
Marrow's your new big
It
guy.
was falling out before Marrow came into town.
Was he maybe your replacement for Meat? Was
Yeah.
a bit
I'd
more
say, like-
controllable?
Yeah. It's probably after we did that kind of like over chopper massacre. Like meat just went missing. After
Yeah,
that.
like just lost in the blood craze and never came
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, okay, great. And your next question?
Next one is, which one of you figures that you could take me in a fight? Gang and all.
It's a bad crowd to ask, I guess.
I
suppose
mean,
Meat
I
would
could,
probably-
but I already have one with you.
Yeah.
We were talking about this, and I could answer yes to all of his questions.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Rose would talk a good fight, but I don't think she'd purposely sort of be like, "Yeah, come on, let's fucking throw down." She'd probably.
I mean, but maybe Rose would feel like she could get like close to him and just shank him in a dark alley
Yeah.
somewhere.
I could
Perhaps
probably
Rose is
persuade some of
showing
his
less-
gang to take him out.
Rose
what,
is
Matt?
showing less fear, perhaps, than he's used to people showing.
Mm.
You come to this town relatively often, and Rose is a relatively prominent figure here. You've definitely met Rose a fair few times. Perhaps Rose,
Yeah.
when everyone else kind of avoids you or like shows you a lot of backed off respect. Maybe Rose is the one who just smiles at you in a way that makes you annoyed.
Yeah, it's probably like a lot different to like how the other women treat me.
Yeah. Does that sound
Yeah.
possible to you, Rose, or is that maybe not quite right?
Oh, that sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So
And the last one is, which one of you once stood up to me, gang and all?
Can you please repeat?
Which one of you stood up to me,
Oh.
gang and all?
That's probably going to be Scalpel.
Yeah, I guess it could be me. Yeah.
yeah, I could
Like-
maybe see that being the thing of like perhaps protecting somebody.
Yeah.
You wanted to kill him, or he was like on the ground, and I just stepped in and say no, you don't.
Guys, you've already stabbed him 7 times. Please, just let me
Oh.
treat the man.
Yeah.
Or you were, you know, yeah, exactly. You were sort of treating someone and like an enemy, maybe, or
Yeah.
like a target of
Mm.
Constantine, and you
And
would.
Mhm.
you just wanted to pull a bullet in his head, and I just said no. You
And
won't.
you being the town angel.
You have to kill me first before you get to kill him.
And that's no good for anybody. If the
Yeah.
angel's dead, we're all dead.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what powers you have,
Exactly.
you probably didn't want to piss off the whole base guard.
The whole town would be up in arms if someone like killed Scalpel, right?
Plus, my
Killing
dad
a
would be
good
mad
doctor,
as
man.
well.
Your dad would be super pissed. Who do you think like does your dad's like old person care?
Yeah. Tattoo repairs.
Yeah.
And his like aching joints. Who do you think soothes those? Like,
He rode around on a motorbike for 40 years. His back is shit.
yeah, I mean, he's got permanent saddle pain. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh. His
Hemorrhoids
arse,
the
man,
size
is
of
so
your fist.
tender.
his ass is just modeled into like, you know.
I love how Scalpel's gone from like this great healer to just providing care for an elderly guy with bad arse and back.
I mean, he can do both, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay,
They're
so
not mutually exclusive. Yeah.
we know Meat. Sorry, what did Meat do again? Meat was
That was
once
his
your
pit
attack
bull
dog.
per se. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're kind of aware that Rose, something about Rose makes you think she thinks she's shit hot and could possibly get to you.
Yeah.
There's something about her that makes you a little nervous. And
It kind of intrigues me
Yes, intrigues you.
as well. Yeah.
And Scalpel once, prevented you from killing someone who pissed you off.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Won't bump into me again.
Cool. All right. So we now know a bit about Constantine and his relationships. That just gives us Scalpel.
Yeah. So, which one of you do I figure is doomed to self-destruction?
Well, you put your hand up, Meat.
Actually, that could be
That
like
could
a
be
few people.
Any of them.
Yeah, Chopper could do too, I guess. Not every single one of you, I guess.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all kind of fucked.
We're all kind
Very
of.
much
This is the
fucked.
fucked group.
I feel self-assured. Thank you.
Well, at least Rose, me, and myself, we're all fucked. Like, we're all doomed.
Spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
My
God, I mean,
opinion,
just point at one.
I guess. I guess Mitz is definitely the one that is the most. Or
Is it worth holding on to that question until
Yeah,
the
we
other
can come
questions
back
are
to
asked
that
and
one.
seen
No.
who does what?
Or maybe no. I guess Mitz is already distracted, so I go for Rose maybe.
That's fair enough.
Oh, so in your eyes, Meat is already broken. Like this self-destruction has
Lost
happened.
Can't destroy anymore, man.
Yeah, there's
And in many ways, the same goes for me, right? I'm already kind of
Yeah.
like...
And Chopper, I don't fucking care about this guy. He wanted to.
Talk for an angel.
He wanted to
this
kill
guy.
patients, so no.
Sorry.
Okay, so which one of you put a hand in when it mattered and helped me save a life?
Not me.
No.
I feel it's most likely to be Rose if it was like a kid or something. She's got a soft spot for kids, but I can't be an answer to every question. That's what I said. Hold the first question, man.
I mean, I might have, I might be able to do that. Yeah, just sort of drag in almost lifeless like body to whatever to scalpel.
No explanation to where you found it. Like, hey, this guy's
Yeah.
almost dead,
Yeah.
and you just
It
leave.
could as well have been you that nearly killed him.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Who
know.
knows?
The
It's like when
you
a cat
helped.
drags in something dead, and you're like, "Where did you get that?" And he's like, "Meow."
What was the question again?
Which one of you put a hand in when it mattered and helped me save a life?
Hmm.
Could be you.
Is there a third question as well?
Yeah, there is a third, which is which one of you has been beside me all along and has seen everything I've seen?
Ooh,
That's an interesting one.
that's
I feel
an
like the
interesting
Angels'
one.
questions really aren't targeted for this group.
I guess they make you think a
All
little
of
more
us-
about
I mean-
your character in a way as well. Though,
I mean,
'cause-
I spy on literally everybody.
I kind of felt that
Even
last
me.
question like might be around for me since my dad's already in this like city. I might have already had like somewhat like a love-hate relationship for him for the angel.
how
So like
old,
we might
how
have
old
already
is Scalpel?
been-
What?
How old is Scalpel?
30 years old, I say.
And how old is Constantine?
like in his like early 20s.
In his early 20s. So there's a chance,
Yeah.
like, if you came back to this base quite a bit, and Scalpel has lived in this base for quite a while, and Scalpel has always kind of been the town healer, you know, even from quite young on, he could have been patching up your dad and your gang's gunshot wounds for years.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
If that sounds amenable.
Oh, that's good to me.
Okay,
So-
so Constantine, you've known Angel for a long time.
Maybe that's why I didn't kill the angel when he got in the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perhaps. I mean, like,
So-
if he was probably a bit older than you, but old enough to be around when you were very young, but, you know, not older brother, but older kid you knew, who eventually turned into the town
Yeah.
doctor, who probably, like, I think we said, like, your dad's missing a leg or something, like, it might have been Angel who, you know, put that prosthetic on, so that would definitely make sense, at least to me it would make sense.
Yeah, and like I suppose because he was so intrinsically connected, like he was like seen as like one of the family, and like you don't fuck with family, I suppose.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with family.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we
Yeah,
got
and when I
definite-
stood up, just when I stood up against you, it was like I was your big brother, I guess. Some kind of
Yeah, like
no, you don't need to kill this man. Trust me, I know you. You don't need to do it.
yeah, like there's some kind of like underlying respect there.
Yeah, definitely.
So-
That's good. I like that.
Mhm.
Okay, and what were the other two questions? Because we definitely still need a house for them.
I get then to ask Constantine, what is my interesting stats?
Oh no, we didn't get answers for your first two questions.
Oh,
thought you did.
did
Did we
we?
decide
I thought
on-
we did it. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
That
I
was
kind of missed
Rose
them.
and Farah, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
Rose
Farah helped you, brought somebody
To-
to
Save a life.
help
yeah,
you save a life.
stabilize someone, and I think
Rose is doomed to
is
destruction.
stop.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I thought we were coming back to those questions. So, Rose is doomed to destruction,
today.
and Farah maybe has some good in her. We'll see.
Yeah. And I knew I've known Constantine for a while.
Yeah, for a long time. That's awesome.
So Constantine, which of my stats is the most interesting?
Okay. Blood
Sharp,
scent.
maybe.
What?
His sharp, maybe.
Sharp. Yeah. Okay.
So highlight
So
your
it's
sharp.
highlighted.
And for the slightly more new people, Boss and Rose and anyone who's watching this, when I stick it up on the YouTubes, those 4 people, highlighted stats, when you roll them, you get XP. Simple. So if you want somebody to act a certain way, highlight that stat.
Yep. And I think the
Yeah.
way is like someone else highlights one of yours, and then you can highlight one of them yourself, right?
No,
I
I
thought
get
it's
no.
Matt chooses the other one.
I
Matt
get
have
to
to
choose one to highlight.
Okay, you get to choose the other one. Oh,
Cool.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's there.
Okay, so Constantine has highlighted your sharp angel. Constantine, who has the highest hex with you, or who do you have the highest hex with?
I have the high hex with Scalp.
Scalpel. So
That's
Scalpel, what do you want to highlight on Constantine?
Don't know. I guess would be hard.
You want Constantine
Okay.
to be hard?
Cool. Let's see the chopper get dirty.
No, there's not a dirty stat. But there should be. Farah, who do you have the highest with? I suppose it would be Meat because
It would be a draw,
oh.
but no, Meat actually has a -1 because he's no.
Oh,
Wait,
Sorry,
I-
-2 actually. -2.
Because I am a wolf.
Yeah, because you am, then I have a -2 to you.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you got a
Oh.
plus with the wolf.
Yeah, I
No,
thought so
if they
too.
say yes, tell them what they look like and write -2.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
he
so
has
you know
-2.
less about me because I'm a wolf.
Yeah.
Yes, or
Cool.
exactly. And I know actually also less about Scalpel because he said no, whereas the other 2 don't know. So I'm actually kind of in favor of that.
Okay, so pick one and
I don't know why. So I'm gonna go for Rose. So what stat do you want me to highlight?
I'm most interested in you being weird. I guess it works for me.
Get
Being
weird.
Sure.
weird.
Good.
I'll highlight weird.
Meat.
That's the easiest
Who has
one
the
to tell.
highest hex with you?
That would be Constantine.
Are we allowed to like pick the same like? Because I would normally pick hard.
Yeah, you can make Meat hard.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Wow.
Deep breaths.
I didn't mean
Okay,
to
guys,
say
let's
that.
move on to this session. We could call it a day there. We've got the clip. Let the black belt
We
begin.
got a little sound bite of this episode right there.
That will be the title to this episode. You can make Meat hard.
Make me hard.
I feel like I set that up perfectly, but I didn't even mean to.
I didn't even think about it.
It's amazing.
Okay, so
love
Meat
it.
is hard. Rose.
The
who
meat
has
is
the
hard,
highest-
ladies and gentlemen.
Who has the highest hex with Rose?
It's a tie between Meat and Constantine.
I don't think Meat's
and I'm
picked
gonna-
anyone yet, has he?
I haven't picked anybody's yet.
I'll go for Meat then.
All right. I want to see you be weird.
You want to see me be weird?
Mhm.
Cool.
Cool.
Now we've got to let Matt pick one for each of us, I
Yes.
think, haven't we?
So, Rose, I want you to be weird and hot.
Cool.
Meat, I want you to be weird and hard.
Sweet.
What?
That's how
The
Matt likes
meat
his
is
meat.
Yeah, so I mean, oh, good name, buddy. Yeah, I want
It's a
you.
meaty name.
I want you to be weird and sharp.
Okay.
Constantine, I want you to be hard and hot.
Ooh.
And this is my favorite part of the game. I'm loving this. Scalpel. I want you to be... You're already sharp, aren't you?
Yeah.
I want you to be sharp and hot.
and hot. Okay.
Some
Be
sexy
hard
people.
and
in
weird.
And there's no coolness in this session
No cool-
whatsoever.
No,
Yeah,
there's
no.
no chill in this session.
No, chill. I should have picked the cool one. I should have said-
Once the pain train starts, there's no
It's cool
going
for
back.
me, man.
I mean, we'll see. I don't think this is a high violence group apart from Meat. And yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll play to find out, as is the rules of Apocalypse World.
I have
Now,
enough violence for a whole team.
this is
That's
this is
true.
my first time not only GMing but playing Apocalypse World. So those of you with a bit more experience, if I'm forgetting to do something or missing a step, please don't hesitate to let me know. And
Okay.
I've kind of read all the rules. I've watched a lot of people play Apocalypse World, and I'm just waiting for second edition to come up basically to give it a go. Now it's out.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it a
so
go.
cool.
So
I already whispered you my blood
yes,
scent thing.
you've
So
done
yeah.
your blood scent. You got 10, so that means you get to hold 1+1, and
Yes, I do.
basically you can just appear if somebody's in danger, or well, if somebody's in a fight, you can just be
Like
there.
a real battle.
Yeah, real battle.
Either of us can spend it to have me be there.
Yeah, you just appear, and you get +1 to your
Take
roll.
+1 forward.
So you just show
So
up.
I'm
and
there
start
and I'm
fighting.
ready to go.
Yeah, that's nice. Not as good as my
Mhm.
the move I really like. Well, the Faceless has some cool moves, but I love just oh yeah for when you burst through
Oh
a
yeah, it's a
wall.
good move.
You have the
Just
Kool-Aid
break
Man
shit
move.
down.
Yeah. So is everyone on the kind
Is
of
that a
world?
cool move as well?
No, it's hard, I believe.
Is everyone on the kind of world map? I think that's where I've taken everyone, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The far map.
Yeah.
So, for those who want to kind of catch one of the Apocalypse, because a lot of people didn't make Session 0, we had a big Session 0, and we decided, we wanted not kind of the Mad Max Endless Wasteland sort of thing. It's actually quite a mountainous, varied terrain you're all going to be starting in.
Oh.
The kind of way to think of it is a lot of valleys with water in them, a very glacial kind of formed area. For whatever reason, when the apocalypse happened and started, nature grows very quickly now. It seems to reclaim at a great speed. As such, there's a lot of everywhere. It's kind of not so foresty in this picture here, but in the game, there's a lot of wood everywhere. There's a lot of forestation, a lot of under. I saw you smirk there, Adam. There's a lot of underbrush, a lot of and everything has been reclaimed. Towns have a lot of trees growing through houses, that kind of thing. I put some like pictures for inspiration up at the top of the map. Some of them are of Chernobyl. Chernobyl is kind of a good example of how it would look. And there's pretty much a constant battle. If you've got somewhere secure, it takes daily work to keep it from just getting overgrown and recaptured by nature. So for the chopper, you travel around a lot. You've got dirt bikers and quad bikers in your gang because sometimes there is no road or the road is covered. And during this time, you need somebody to clear the way for you, and that's where the dirt bikers and quad bikers come in. And a lot of trade is actually also done by boat. You're connected to the coast. It's not really shown on the map here, but you are connected to the coast. And big oil tankers come in sometimes, delivering the necessary petrol to keep your generators going in the winter. Because the winters
So
are
there's
cold.
there's a lot of people then.
Yeah,
Like
this
since
is a,
if there's people like driving tankers, people are not very rare.
yeah, this is a relatively populated apocalypse.
The problem is the madness thing.
The problem is the madness. You're kind of just coming out of a period of, for the last like the generation before your generation is kind of just being started to get referred to as like the chaos times or chaotic times. Because when everything fell apart, it got really chaotic. There were still a lot of people around, but a lot of them were mad or pushed very much in different directions, and it was just constant war and madness and chaos. It has started to calm down to the extent that people are building up communities a bit more frequently now, and trade is starting to form between those communities. So this isn't the road empty apocalypse. This is a populated. There was an apocalypse, but you're starting to try and rebuild as best you can. But it's being made very difficult by the problems of the apocalypse, which you kind of allude to there, the madness. There are many people who are batshit insane out there. I mean, you think you're psychos. They rove in these woods, come bursting out like old Germanic barbarians from the trees. There's also people occasionally do just kind of flip or crack, and one day your neighbor's completely normal. The next day, he's naked in your house with a cleaver. There's a real scarcity of security and trust because of this. So part of the problem is people are dangerous, and people have trouble trusting each other, and even when they close gates, they have trouble trusting each other. But people are starting to try and rebuild, so you're getting trade from outside. However, it is very difficult to travel and trade because of the wrong zones, or wrong places. These are these red circles that are on the map. You might see them scattered about.
Disneyland.
What was that? Oh yeah,
Disneyland.
one of them. Somebody's placed one as Disneyland, the most terrible of all the circles. But
Sweet.
these wrong zones are places that are wrong in some way. The laws of physics don't apply in some of them. You might go in and you're just torn apart by a gravitational well, like a gravitational anomaly just sitting in the room. Some of them time warps, and you might see yourself a little bit ahead, and then once you catch up with yourself, murder yourself in a fit of rage. Some of them have a higher problem of madness, causing increased paranoia and people to turn on each other. There's no uniform to what these things do, but they are, to a T, very dangerous. And obviously, the further you travel from the lands you know, the more likely you are to accidentally stumble into one of these zones. So, traveling over long distances is very difficult. And those who do it tend to be strange wanderers who try to map out these weird zones and find new trade routes and sell them for a lot of money, or people using very existing trade routes they know, like your oil tanker deliverers. Most people survive, who survive well, survive outside of major cities. Major cities are filled with people, but not in a good way. It tends to be warring gang bosses, packs of marauders. Your nearby city is the Hive, a overgrown, very clustered, very claustrophobic city with a kind of industrial feel to it. It's filled with it's controlled by several dangerous warlords. It has roving gangs of slavers and killers, and it also has madmen just wandering around in it. So it's you can survive in there if you're willing to be a terrible person, but it's often considered better to try and survive outside the cities, even if that has its own risks.
Mm.
Terrain-wise, it's very green, lots of water, lots of food, so scarcity of supplies is not a big problem in most of the time. But it is hard to get medicine, it is very hard to find security, and it's very hard to... It's a constant battle for many people to keep their sanity. If you had a problem, if you had something in you that would have been, in our sort of time, a manageable condition, it is exasperated, and you find you often feel like a ticking clock going towards a stage where you might crack. So this is the world you all find yourself in. The Apocolypse town that you'll be kind of living in is the base. The base was at some stage an army or a naval base that when the apocalypse happened, it held out. And it held out quite well, or as well as you could expect in this time. The admiral or general back then died, passed on the position to their son, who has in turn passed it on to his son. So there's kind of a legacy of people, and the people who control it kind of fashion themselves a little bit like a military, but they've got M16s as opposed to most people who are carrying bricks and cleavers to do their murdering. But they're definitely not soldiers anymore. They're an unruly lot and somewhat prone to abusing their power. And this is the town that our story is going to take place in. Here's a little closer up onto where we are. So this is the kind of a closer up of the area you'll be staying in. I was going to fill this in a bit more, but I ended up chatting with Boss and Constantine instead, because they were on an hour early. But yeah, your base is up here at the kind of top of this inland kind of lake. There's another town across next to this lake you know of called the Castle Town, which is a medieval castle that's been renovated into a town. And
That's cool.
There's also stuff down here. There's a junk farm and such, which are on the bigger map, but I haven't had a chance for that. And we'll populate with more towns. There are more people and towns out there that we can invent together as we go along and tell the story. So what time of year is it, you think, when we start? Is it October, like it is now? Is it the cold time? Or is it a
I
different
think it'd
time?
be cool if it was like really cold.
Yeah.
Like if it was starting to shift towards a colder time, that'd be
Okay.
cool.
So let's say it's October. For in our time.
Winter is coming.
Winter, yeah.
Mhm.
No,
There's
winter's almost there.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're so close to where you'll probably have been enjoying like the October here it's very cold, as you'd expect, but the snow hasn't come yet, and you're aware that during November the snow's going to come, and in this world, everything's a little heightened and dramatic with this kind of stuff. So when the snow is going to come, and you know it's going to be deep snow. So everyone's kind of preparing for that. The generator no one's been allowed to really run the generator too much. They're trying to save their supplies for the generator. Firewood is being stacked everywhere around you in the base. It's night at the moment. It's incredibly crisp to go outside. Like it's a biting kind of cold feeling. Your breath steams up in front of you. But it's also that kind of pleasant cold of autumn, that kind of, you feel heightened by it almost. You've came out of the mugginess of summer. You're not into the oppressive cold of full winter yet. This is quite an alive month. And all these trees that surround you, a lot of them are evergreen trees that aren't going to molt, but you are getting a lot of falling foliage, kind of making a lot of strange colours. So we're in the base, with its well-armed guards and its high perimeter fence of razor wire and where would everyone be at? We'll say it's about 10 o'clock at night. Where would everyone be at this time?
I'd be at the bar.
You're at the bar? Cool. So I think the bar in the base is like an old mess hall. Like, it's a big, wide room with lots of, like, bolted to the ground metal tables, where they could sit hundreds. But a lot of it's not filled or used most of the time. So there might actually be a few people, like, huddled around barrels of burning fire, getting ready to go to sleep in the back of the room. They've kind of taken that wee bit as their place to stay. Because this is quite a populated hold. It's about 100 and I think I'm near 200 people. I took the large hold for it, and the space sometimes becomes an issue. But yeah, you're there having a drink in this big like mess hall, effectively the bit that's been cordoned off as like this is where we go to drink. Who's with you, Rose?
Oh, I'd be on my own. I'd be looking for wealthy-looking out-of-towners.
You're looking for wealthy-looking out-of-towners.
Yeah, girls got to make a living.
All right. I
Uh,
think you do see a wealthy-looking out-of-towner. What town would the wealthy-looking out-of-towner be from?
It doesn't matter to me as long as they're not from this town. As long as no one's going to miss them, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Have you not got a town in mind that you might like to use?
If they're from the castle, that's the castle is the big city. Is that the big city that
No,
I'm
but-
originally from?
No, the castle's quite a small insular group.
All right. So what? Which
You could make
which city was
you,
the city?
you could
Sorry, is
completely make up a town if you wanted to. If you wanted to be like, yeah, they're from this town. You could absolutely do that in a proposal.
yeah, North Haverbrook.
They're from North Haverbrook.
North Haverbrook.
Haverbrook.
The Simpsons
From
reference.
Brookshire, Westerton, Fieldsville, Iowa.
They're from North Haverbrook. All right, yeah. So that's a town from up north. Oddly enough, they tend to come down here occasionally when they're wanting to get near enough to the city to get some of their resources, but not actually go into the city. And he's stopped off here. He's been doing some trade you've maybe been keeping an eye on him for a few days. But yeah, there's North Haverbrook's character is definitely there. So while you're eyeing him, Fiera, what are you doing?
Yeah, I figure at around this time of night, I would probably like be in like the vents if those exists, either
Oh yeah,
on
this
like the
is
ceiling or the floor of like this type of like mess hall that we're in right now. I think that because I kind of like to listen to the people speaking to each other, trying to figure out, who everybody is and what they're thinking.
all right. Would you be in the
Um,
vents above the bar, or would you be somewhere
yeah,
else?
yeah. Something like that, right? Where I can sort of listen to people hear speak without actually needing to participate.
Okay. Do you
Also, I
want
like
to
to keep an eye on like the people I consider the closest thing I have to friends, like people
like
uh,
Rose? Yeah.
like a Rose, for instance, who I
Okay.
consider to be like one of my friends.
Is there a move you'd like to make here? Maybe.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a particular move here.
I'm just the one I'm thinking of is perhaps read a person or read a situation.
Oh, right. Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So and that means that I can ask questions, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me have a look because this is the first time I'm doing this.
Yeah, you have to
Uh,
roll, and then depending on how you roll,
You get a
Yeah, I
Yes,
have to
yes,
roll
certainly.
plus sharp, and I have to ask the. Okay, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll do that.
Which one are you doing
Uh,
first?
but-
Read a person or read a situation?
Yeah, I'd like to read the situation first.
Okay. So you think this might be a charged situation then? Okay. So
Yeah, this might be a situation where something is about to go down, but I miss.
excellent. Good. I get to start
Let's
making
see.
moves straight away. Thank you. It's really helpful for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But I do have this ability that I'm able to ask at least one question, I think.
yeah, you get to ask one anyway. So you get to ask two
Oh,
questions.
so I get to ask two questions. Yeah.
Yeah, you get to ask two questions.
but be prepared for the worst.
Yeah. On a miss, ask one anyway. Exactly.
But be prepared
So
for the
I'm
worst.
gonna ask the question. What or I guess who should I be on the lookout for here?
You should be. What or who should I be on the lookout here? You
Yeah.
should be on the lookout for Rose.
All right.
Rose is definitely planning to do something, and
Mhm.
you should keep an eye on her because she
All right.
might need your services later.
Great. And just as a general question, then, because I have this sniffing the air ability, I'm not even sure. Oh, I don't actually have to roll for this. This is just. I was hoping it would output the description.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So I can ask also, just as a general question of my parent that feeds my paranoia. How close are the wolves?
Very close. In fact, as you're looking down there, you're like looking for this wee break in the vent.
Mhm.
The man from North Haven Brook looks up. He's very well dressed. North Haven Brookers tend to dress in an Edwardian-esque fashion.
Sure.
Even Brookers.
Yeah,
North
they're an
Haven
odd lot.
Their hockey team is all prestigious.
Well, not so much, but they've
But-
taken over a very old town and have taken on a very old sensibility. They tend to wear top hats
Yeah,
and
yeah.
black clothes and walk with canes. The North
Sure.
Haven Brooker looks up and looks up. He doesn't see you, but you see his eyes. And as you see his eyes, they hollow out into black pits, and wings sprout from his back that bleed. And then he looks away, and the wings remain.
Damn, this is why I don't try to look at people. Okay.
So yeah, the person Rose talking to is a wolf.
Yes. I will make sure to keep a close eye.
Yes. Meat. Where are you? This is something I wonder about in general. Like, where is Meat?
So most of the time, Meat spends like sort of on the outskirts, like in the foresty, like thicket type area that surrounds the base. Waking up, killing elk, that sort of thing. But I think right now, I was given some sort of job. I think I'm hauling something really heavy and really dead to somebody's house.
Yeah, perhaps it is an elk that you were told to. Do you do odd jobs for the base, and is that kind of why they?
Yeah, so when so Meat has this whole altar thing. When he doesn't have his mask on, he's called Cheese. And when Meat is feeling sensible and Cheese is more or less in charge, he tends to do like odd jobs and stuff for like things that he can't find out in the woods, like candy or shiny things. So
Yeah. Who do you do odd jobs for? Who's the? It'd probably have to be a guard or maybe somebody important in the town who could say, "It's fine, let him in. He's not going to hurt anyone."
yeah, I
There is
think
like a perimeter get fence around this community.
I think that their name is Domino.
Domino
Yeah,
is Domino man or a woman?
I think they're non-binary.
Non-binary. Okay.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think Domino is one of the guards, who their head is completely shaved bald. In fact, they've removed all the hair from themselves and have also put several layers of tattoos across them. So it's not so much that they're hiding their sex; it's just, or they're making a big deal of it. No one's sure because they're always in their battle armor. And they've covered themselves in tattoos. It's something of a fixation. It's their madness. Doesn't hurt anyone. Doesn't hurt her or them. But so it's manageable and they can work. But they have to just keep adding to their body art. So yeah, Domino maybe sees your mask, sees their mask, and is a bit more understanding of it than most, and lets you in and gives you work.
Hmm.
So. Domino's, you're hauling this big dead elk in by Domino, who's walking along with a sidearm at their hip, and going, "Meat, you been keeping yourself well recently? Not caused too much trouble?"
Tasty in the morning, sleepy at night.
That's good. And the tasty, it's not the bad tasty.
All tasty is good tasty.
Okay, mate. Okay. Sometimes, if you weren't so good at lugging stuff and I didn't have to just pay you in candy, I might think twice about letting you into town.
Twice? And he
No.
sort of like looks around.
No? It's okay. Don't like that name, do you? So, alright. Well, I'll tell you what. Before you go back, how about I take you inside and you can get some stew from the bar before you go back outside. It's cold. Warm you up. Does that sound good?
I ain't been warm. Long time.
Well, most of us don't get to be warm very much at the moment, but you'll at least have some food in you that isn't people. Come on. And Domino just takes off kind of towards the mess hall.
Yeah, I follow.
Yeah, you follow after.
Like this
You know,
shambling, hunched over gait.
a few people kind of keep an eye on you, and while
Yeah.
it's kind of accepted, Domino will lead you around town, and you'll be okay. You do notice there maybe are, well, you might not notice, I don't know if Meat would, but we as an audience would notice there are more, perhaps more guards keeping pace and keeping nearby to you than there normally would be for any other traveler.
Meat just thinks that that's how the town is because that's how it always is when he comes.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
There's always
He's like,
four
"Oh, that's
guards
just how-"
walking nearby with M16s.
Yeah.
Everyone
it's
gets this kind of treatment.
It's what it's like in town.
Constantine, I don't think you're in the base yet. You're probably on your way there.
Mm,
Like you're
yeah.
I think your dad has sent you off on an errand. The wolf has sent the sheep out to do its bidding.
Can you pick up my medication? Son?
Yeah,
My arthritis is just killing me today.
You're such a sweet boy. Could you go get me my ointment?
he
Wouldn't
sent,
When I
surprise me.
was your age.
Most likely.
Yeah. So what's he
Made it
sent
look
you
like
for?
a drug deal.
Has he sent you off to
Um,
deal drugs?
um, I mean, like, I would say like he probably sent me off to pick up like some kind of like drug shipment from someone and I'm just there to kind of like I've been setting it as like bodyguards for someone and they're doing the deal and we're there just to make sure the deal gets done all above board and no funny shit gets done on both parties.
Yeah. Okay, so you've been going to describe what it's like when your gang goes for one of these deals. Like, what would we see from? Does your gang have a name, by the way, or is it just Constantine's gang, or is it the Pack?
Um, I believe. I mean, I think we did have a game like the name when
The
I
flock,
first
because it's sheep.
did it. But I think we called ourselves like the Ridden because we're just always riding.
Always riding.
Yeah.
Okay, the
That's
Ridden.
Cool. That's cool.
Cool. Always riding. Okay, so you're like going down. The highways in this tend to like have random trees sticking out of the middle of like the out of the middle of the concrete in places and are overgrown at the sides. I think you've probably got like these two guys in quad bikes who have to go ahead of you with like big plows to
Yeah.
rip some of the worst vegetation out of the way. Because you ride a Harley, don't you? Like the
Yeah.
big dicks of the gang, they get to ride Harleys. Everyone else rides quad bikes and dirt bikes.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a hierarchy in bikes kind of thing. Like the main boss people get to ride like the big muscle bikes, like the young strapping like guys, like the young guys. They normally like ride the dirt bikes because they like to go off and do their own shit, and then they go off and scout and stuff.
Yeah. So I guess
There's one arse I want a moped.
The guy that everybody rips on. has, like, a-
100% Twitch rides a moped.
Yeah, yeah.
And no one
As
knows
the
how
kids.
Twitch manages to ride this moped through like the heavily overgrown Apocolypse. But Twitch
Damn it.
always keeps up the entire way.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, you've got next to you Marrow, who's on this huge bike, like big monster of a bike, which has got a big kind of big like tractor wheel on the back, so it can get through rough terrain and stuff.
Yeah,
And beside you, Liana, who's this kind of older, like middle-aged woman with her hair back in a tight tight bun and has white hair, does not look a biker in the slightest. She's got
No.
like glasses on the tip of her nose as she goes along. Her hair like not out of place. Her leathers, she's wearing leathers, but it's more
Yeah.
neat than everyone else's. But she's
Yeah.
right there next to you on her own, like very comfortable looking Harley bike. And then in the middle we see Constantine. And I've not
Yeah.
actually been getting character descriptions yet, which is a thing I will try and fix now. So, what does Constantine look like on his monster of a bike?
Well, I suppose it's it's kind of like colder. So he's got it's like a thick pelt on, like a wolf's pelt. And underneath it is just like black leather, with like goggles on. Which he has like riding goggles on right now. Like leather gloves, like black boots, and his hair is just kind of like tied up at the back. Just kind of like riding. He always has like somewhat of a smirk on whenever he's like riding
Yeah,
in his face.
he's not a big guy though, is he? And he's maybe not.
No,
You'd be
he's
surprised
more
he's,
like
he's the
yeah,
one in charge, especially next to Marrow, who's just this towering guy.
yeah.
I want to fight Marrow so bad.
He definitely has like the baby face like Romeo look. And he's very like athletically built, but he's not like hulking like most biker chopper dudes are,
Yeah,
like my old daddies and things like that. So
yeah. Oh, cool. So yeah, you're driving to this this drug deal, and I think as you're kind of driving along, like doing Liana beside you kind of goes, "We're late."
we'll get there. We just didn't calculate properly for this snow. Damn it! Every year.
It's early this year. It normally doesn't start until November. If it's going to be a cold winter, that the base might have a bit of trouble. They've not been getting much oil recently. You should have brought more in. I told you this would be a problem.
With other deals going on, the base normally fends for itself. Can't do all their jobs for them.
Yes, well, we'll see what your dad thinks about that. And then she kind of like pops a wheelie on her bike and drives on ahead a bit.
I just kind of like spit off the side as I'm riding. I just kind of look at Marrow. I just kind of like nod him to go forward. I just like stay my course.
Yeah, Marrow like takes off behind you, but yeah, and behind you like all these dirt bikes like doing like jumps and tricks across the road and stuff. There's quad bikes
So cool.
blazing along, and then right in the back comes up Twitch on his moped, completely like shirtless, covered in tattoos, going.
That's amazing.
Excellent. Scalpel. Where would we
Yeah.
find Scalpel on this cold night?
Maybe in my place, like cleaning my tools from the last operation,
Yeah.
from the last
So
patient.
do you have a workshop?
No, I don't.
You don't have a workshop yet?
No. So no, like in my room.
Yeah. Is that something
Maybe
you
a,
can
a
take
small
as an
place.
angel? Is that something you take as an angel later on? I can't remember.
You can
Yeah.
you can take an
Yeah.
advancement.
Okay,
Together.
cool. So maybe
Yes, so
it's the space
actually,
that will one day be your workshop, but it's a work in progress, perhaps. Because you've been here a while, you must have a space you work in.
yeah. I don't guess I need it now. I'm more like a utility man. I just have a room, really messy, but
Yeah.
in my head it's all clean and
You know
everything
where
is-
you know it's supposed
Yeah.
to be there.
Yeah.
It looks like a mess, but you know
But-
everything is.
but it's really little small room, really messy, and I'm just like cleaning my stuff from the last operation.
Cool, cool. And what do we see when we see Scalpel? What does Scalpel look like?
He usually walks around wearing a long trench coat, a brown trench coat with hand-painted red crosses on his back and shoulders, bulletproof vests, military trousers and boots, and always wears, when he's walking around, a plague mask.
Oh,
Hmm.
like a white surgical one, or are we talking like
No, one of
No,
these.
the Venetian one.
like a
Birdman.
Wow,
With the big
so
beak,
they
with
all
a
like a
bird
like a
masks.
nice beak.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
okay,
kind
so
of
that-
Meat
you're
initially was gonna have a
recognizable with
plague
it.
mask,
So you're
but
in
then I went
you're
hockey.
in,
With
yeah,
like googles on it. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I know the one.
That must
Fellow
really put your
mask wearer.
patients at ease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I
but
love.
I mean, like you.
I
have-
don't care. I'm just a practical man. I just do what suits me best.
Now you are in a military base, so you probably have access to proper gas mask. Was this choice like a style thing? Is it maybe connected in some way to an inner madness that you are aware of and deal with?
More, maybe it's some kind of traditional thing, like a kind of personal preference, I
Yeah.
guess. Just
You got this.
I like
from-
it, and it's like some kind of
Yeah.
crazy little shit.
Oh yeah, I know the one you mean. I drag one in, but I haven't got a picture of the crazy Edwardian bird mask. But that thing is brilliant. The plague doctor mask.
What's that
Um,
one city's name?
I gotta ask.
And
see-
Northwest.
Maybe I can. I read that the water bearer, the water of the well, he gets could heal madness.
yeah, he can.
so I
suppress
guess-
and heal it.
I kind of like have some in my mask in the point of the beak.
Oh yeah, so you've got like a little bit of water in the mask, so it evaporates
Yeah.
over time, and you breathe it in.
Yeah.
I think it helps.
Prevent madness,
That's
like they used to do. They used to put herbs in it
yeah,
prevent
to
the
clear
plague.
the air.
Oh,
That's
very cool.
that's awesome. That's really cool.
That's super cool.
That's a
So
cool
you've got this
detail
like
there.
huge creepy bird mask on, like just slowly drinking in kind of evaporated air. You're having a little trouble this time of year because it keeps freezing.
Yeah,
you've
so I
got to,
just spend my time warming it up with a
You've got
little.
a lighter
Oh,
you
I
have to put
forgot.
underneath
A
it.
little Zippo lighter.
That's awesome.
That's a
Are
very
there
good-
leeches in your room? Does it go that far into play territory? Do you have like a wee tub filled with leeches just like sucking the glass, or is this purely a practical thing and you're not quite at
It's
crazy?
purely practical, maybe some books, like really old books,
Yeah.
because I guess we don't find many actually.
No, and most people can't actually read in this setting. We can't
Yeah,
decide
Raised
so
good.
many really precious but old and really
slightly
crappy
damaged
books.
Yeah, okay.
Medical gear,
Green
I
eggs and
guess.
ham.
And I forgot I got a 9 millimeter.
So
That's
yeah,
my only weapon. And
something of like the military doctor. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
seeing. That's cool.
But I had the choice between many weapons, and I prefer the 9 millimeters because it's a really precise and I could say clean weapon, not like a sword off, which just spreads and
Yeah, you want to do the job
makes
properly.
really messy wounds. I like to really be precise and be able to
Fireman's
wound
axe.
my enemy where exactly I want, like a
Excellent.
surgeon.
Cool. So yeah, we find you kind of probably studying your books and stuff
Yeah.
late at night. I'm not sure there's much for me to introduce for you there. I want to get back to Rose and Fiera, if that's all
Yep.
right. So Rose, I never got your description. Sorry, and this is probably the most important description. Everyone, enjoy.
Well, Rose is very pretty. She looks very sweet, very innocent.
Go
She's
on.
wearing. Sorry.
Go on.
She's wearing like quite torn tights, but for the era they're pretty good. They're somewhat intact. Short denim skirt, kind of quite tough boots, like army type boots, and a leather jacket with nothing underneath it. She's not going to be. She has an army helmet and a rifle. She's not going to have those with her in the bar because she doesn't want to look too intimidating. And she's got her hair done up, and she's got two chopsticks for her hair, which are actually concealed blades.
Cool. Now, when you say nothing on the leather jacket, is she just walking around with chest out in October?
It's not out, but yeah.
There's enough of a hint there to get attention.
Doesn't show as much skin as I do.
Yeah. But
This isn't a competition.
so
I
yeah,
win
how
the
you
titty
use it.
competition.
you look tough, but you definitely draw the eye, kind of as a battle babe could. But you're kind of disarmingly sweet looking, isn't it, as well? Like
Yeah.
people, your clothes might look kind of tough, but people often think, oh, that's just Rose.
Yeah.
Cool. And Fiera up in the vents. What are you
Yeah.
up to?
Yeah, so how Farah looks like is so she's got like more of a small frame, right? Like a kind of a childlike body, I would say. But she's wearing a kind of a tattered white dress that just goes up to kind of her knees, and then over that she's wearing like an adult-sized long coat, kind of like one of these like World War II like coats that you kind of see sometimes. Very very thick, very very warm. She would be wearing typically like a cap under like on top of her kind of ragged, long, rusty red hair. She would mostly go bare feet everywhere she goes. And so what you sort of see is that because like this coat is a bit too large for her, she kind of drags it along with her. So it's kind of messy, especially on the bottom. She kind of has kind of like she doesn't blink a lot, so she kind of stares at people sometimes, although she tries to avoid their gaze.
Cool.
So
right
So
now,
she stares at them,
Fiera,
but not their eyes.
huh? Yes.
So she stares
so
at them, but not their eyes.
Exactly. She'll often be found like if you just look at if you manage to find her, you'll often find her staring at someone's side, someone's back, or someone, or even in a face-to-face conversation, she'll most likely be staring at someone's ears or someone's like mouth or whatever,
Yeah.
just trying to avoid the eyes.
Yeah. So you did meet someone's eyes, although they didn't see you in your dark little corner.
Yes.
The person from North. What did we call it? What was it? It was North
Haverbrook.
North Haverbrook. From North Haverbrook.
Yeah.
So he's standing there in his top hat and long black, kind of Edwardian style, like tail-coated clothing with a cane, and he's been drinking with Rose for the last maybe hour or so. Chatting away. The North Haverbrooks tend to try and keep a certain degree of class and decorum, but he's had a couple of drinks by now. What do you what is Rose and this man talking about?
To be honest, she's just making small talk at the moment, talk about the weather, but it's going to be leading on to other questions. We can roleplay it out if you want, or I can just give you the basic rundown of what she's trying to do.
Yeah. It's always bloody cold
There's
down
a seduce roll.
Sorry?
You can roll to seduce people.
Yep, there is the seduce move, which you could use.
It's more manipulating to be at the moment. Well, I'm trying to do both
the same
as well.
move. It's seduce and manipulate.
Seduce or manipulate.
Seduce and manipulate.
Yeah, I've got
Mm-hmm.
a wee page. Boop. So
Well, that's useful.
I have a PDF open.
yeah, it's in the PDF.
Yeah,
as
no,
well.
me too. But this is also useful.
Yeah.
Well, I'll roll for it.
Once we've had a wee talk, but whenever you want to, you can make the move seduce and manipulate to get some effects over the person. I haven't actually.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that at any stage, yeah, you could basically try and use that on them.
I'd join him at the bar and I'd be like, "Geez, it's getting cold earlier and earlier."
Yeah,
you
you've
know,
been talking to him
Used
for a
to be
while. It's like,
November when the snow came.
yes, it's always so bloody cold down here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, have you got a room?
We have power all year round. You know, we have heat.
Yeah.
Yes, gas power. Don't.
I'd have to visit there sometime. I hear it's a lovely place.
It is. It is.
Do you have a room here? Is it nice and heated, or are you in one of the cold rooms?
They've put me up in some room in the main complex, but it's fucking freezing. It's ridiculous.
See, you should come to my room. It's lovely and warm. You know, it's so toasty. So, are you in the main complex? Which room in the main complex? I mean, are you on the north side of the main complex? Because the north side's quite nice compared to the
No.
south side of the main complex. The
I'm in
south
the
side of the main
south
complex.
side.
Oh god, you're on the south side. Oh, they really screwed you over. Jeez.
You're telling me there's nicer... They told me they were giving me the best treatment.
How much did they charge you?
Well, they charged me... Well, I had to hand over enough... I had to hand over a tanker... Oh, wait, no. I do actually remember now. We decided the currency in this world is pictures of before the apocalypse and IDs.
We did, yeah.
I
Is
had
that a
to-
thing?
Yeah.
Like memories, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
basically.
I had to hand over
So-
2 library cards.
Hmm.
2 library cards.
I have
I
two.
assume they would be up library cards. You know, the faded ones. You can't really tell what the pictures are. Because I mean,
No.
two decent library cards. They should have given you the best room they've got there. Is this? They did. Oh, you know. Tonight, you and me. You know, we'll have a few drinks. We'll have a laugh. We'll laugh this off in the morning. We'll go down there together. We'll get this straightened out. We'll get you a decent room. Don't worry. I'll take you under my wing. It's all good. I know this city like the back of my hand.
That's most kind of you. Yes, let's do that. Actually, well, let's make a move out of this. You're trying to seduce and manipulate him, I think, here. You
Yeah,
want
I'm
him
trying to seduce him.
Yeah,
just
seduce
to,
or
so I can get him
manipulate.
alone later. And manipulate him
so on a
into find
10
out where he
plus,
lives.
They'll go along with you, or until some fact betrays reason. On a 7 to 9, they will want some concrete reassurance, and on a miss, for either, prepare for the worst.
First roll of the game, I'm expecting natural ones all the way.
Second roll of the game, last one was a 2 and a 1. Oh, yep, brilliant.
Oh, great.
So he just
That's good.
he kind of
Nailed
stops. and he looks you up and down. His eyebrow raises a little bit. He's like, I think that would be quite acceptable. And he,
Excellent.
finishes his Chardonnay, which was made in a bathtub, and he moves to kind of follow after you.
Excellent.
And Fiera, you see him turn with his big bloody angel wings.
Yeah,
Behind
exactly.
him,
So I'm
flapping.
kind of afraid for Rose. I'm definitely following them.
Okay, cool. Okay, all the show. So I think that's probably a good place to take a quick break. If anyone wants to go to the bathroom real fast or get themselves a drink, I'm going to get myself a drink.
That might not be the worst idea.
Yeah.
Glad I rolled a success for a change.
Maybe
I'm
this
gonna
is
get some
completely
coffee.
different from your D&D characters who just,
It's,
fail.
it's ones all the way. I still do good stuff. I just can't roll for shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. We'll just take a wee couple of minutes
Okay.
break, grab
Sure.
grab a drink, grab some stuff, and come back.